we're about to get the biggest iOS update we've ever seen. Well, that guy is a liar, but we are about to get the biggest iOS update ever. iOS 19 is gonna be so good, and I know we say this every single year, and it doesn't always work out, but hear me out. This year is a little bit different because there are a couple things that Apple has been hinting at us in a way too, like Apple is sort of snitching on themselves or preparing us for this massive redesign. But hey, stay with me on this. But the biggest question is still, is Apple going to give us this redesign with iOS 19, or is it gonna be one of those things that they just push till next year to iOS 20? Now last year was supposed to be the year that Apple provided us with the biggest update. That's when it was rumored for us to get this redesign. However, Apple ended up giving us little tweaks here and there, and yeah, we did get Apple Intelligence, even though we don't have some of the biggest features that got everybody excited. But that sounds like its own video, so be sure to subscribe because I am gonna go off on them. But hey, let's not get carried away. Back to iOS, there are lots of rumors going around that this year is going to be the year that we get the biggest update, something better than what we got with iOS 7. And rumors also state that this was something that was supposed to happen last year. However, investors started pressuring Apple, telling them to join the AI race, so they almost had to put the redesign on pause and then navigate all the resources or the engineers to focus on Apple Intelligence and give us Apple Intelligence, which in my opinion was fully rushed. But hey, Apple knows what they want, but keep that idea in your head. So you might be asking like, hey Buka, you said the same thing last year that was supposed to be the redesign year. What makes this year different? So some of the apps that Apple has recently released, I'm talking about apps like Apple Sports and Apple Invites. When you look at them, they almost look like they're not really designed with iOS 18 in mind. It almost feels like the redesign was supposed to happen last year, and then Apple was supposed to release these new apps that were going to match with the redesign, because when you look at them, they have Vision OS like design, which is not what we currently have in iOS 18. But since they were already on the roadmap to being released, instead of Apple pushing them a year, they decided to go ahead and release them. And it's sort of proof, because when you look at them, they have this Vision OS feel on an iPhone, which looks really good, because they bring that translucency we have in Vision OS. They bring those gorgeous rounded corners, they bring those shadows, that 3D items feel. It almost looks like they're floating in a way, but not necessary, which looks so good. It's something that we currently have in Vision OS. But also in addition to that, it's almost makes it easier to navigate around them. It feels much more simpler than what we currently have in iOS 18, which, yeah, I know it's just two apps, Buka. How can this be real? But then we got one of my favorite YouTubers, John Prosper from FTP, aka Further, who claimed that he actually saw the camera design, and what it does, it fully confirms what we're already thinking, because that nice clean Vision OS like feels, it is fully designed within this new camera application that we're supposed to have with iOS 19. So when you look at it, you can easily navigate through it simply by swiping back and forth, something similar with what we have with the Sports app. So menu navigation, it's all right there. All you have to do is simply swipe back and forth, which looks so awesome. But the way he explains it, everything makes perfect sense. I'll have his video attached in the description, so be sure to check him out, because the second he said, I was like, yeah, this is definitely happening. There's no running away from me anymore. The next overdue feature that's coming with the iOS 19 is the fact that Apple is getting rid of Siri and then redesigning it from the ground up. So instead of Apple patching, putting little patches on Siri where it needed repairs, Apple is getting rid of it and then is redesigning it from the ground up, which is so good. So finally it can compete with apps like ChatGPT, Google, because we know how far behind and how outdated Siri is. And honestly, those are the two biggest features I have sort of being confirmed. So a redesign is coming. Siri is being redesigned from scratch, from the ground up, which is super exciting. But let me know, is there any other features that you're hoping to see in iOS 19? Be sure to put those in the comments, and as you're commenting, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be sure to keep you updated on all the rumors, on all the upcoming rumors, and everything that I learn about what's coming with iOS 19, because apparently Apple is not just focusing, it's not going to focus on iOS 19, is also going to focus on iPad OS 19, Mac OS 9, like everything. Apple is trying to be as unified or as uniformed as possible across all their devices. So iOS, iPad OS, Mac OS, Vision OS, everything is gonna have that Apple feel, instead of having everything feel like their own separate application, which is super exciting. But like I said, hit that subscribe, share my content. I'll be sure to keep you as updated as I can. And hey, shout out to everybody who's subscribing. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, which is mind blowing. Thank you so much for everybody who's subscribing. And hey, I do have something special planned out. It's going to be released, so be sure to stay updated, subscribe, turn on notifications, and yeah, catch you in the next one.